entire way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Now I'm gonna play this for a bit.
Rich is going to use the rest.
What is this?
Play this
One Finger Death Punch.
Isn't that a band? Five Finger Death Punch is a
Five-Finger
band.
Death Punch.
This game gets it done with only one finger.
Yeah. Jack likes that, but hates X-Men Day of Future Past. I do hate X-Men Days of Future Past. I think that is
you're
a bad
nuts.
movie.
You're
It's
nuts.
a bad movie that makes no sense. That is a bad movie that makes no sense.
How does it not make any sense?
Okay.
I haven't seen it since the theater, by the way. I would have to rewatch
And
it,
I've
but
only
I
seen
liked
it
it in the
once.
theater.
I've only seen it once.
Okay.
Explain. So, my first problem with the movie came during the opening sequence, in which we find out that they have time travel powers.
Okay.
And this is after we see that characters have died, right?
Yeah.
And we don't know who they are, but like they're part of a resistance or something, right?
It feels like we missed a movie.
Yeah.
That was one thing I noticed right away. I was like, was there a movie before this that I didn't see?
But by the way, I was okay with that because I liked how they were just throwing us into the world.
Okay.
And of course, I'm an X-Men guy, and so it's like
You probably knew what was going on better than I did.
knew what was going on. But then, so characters died, and it's like, oh shit's getting real right away. Oh wait, we have time travel powers, so death doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So death doesn't mean anything. So therefore, all death from now on doesn't mean anything when it comes to these characters. Then we get to the point where the big thing that bothered me about what makes no sense about it is Kitty is holding on to Logan's brain power, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Logan is in the past for like a couple days, right?
Yes.
So does Kitty have to hold there a couple days? Because like they do the cut back and forth from Kitty to the past, from Kitty to the past a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So Kitty has to stay there holding Logan's head for 4 days straight?
It could be 10 minutes in modern time, and
But like in future time, they have a changing of the guard, looking out for sentries. Like time has passed in the future.
What are we talking about?
I honestly don't remember. I would have to rewatch the movie.
X-Men Days of Future Past.
When you fight, your cursor can be anywhere on the screen.
It did not sit well with me. I think Jennifer Lawrence was not acting very well in it.
Well, she's not right for that part. They keep making her such a central part of it because she's Jennifer Lawrence now. So that's a problem I had with it. But
And then we get to Quicksilver sequence, which is a fun sequence.
oh, that sequence is great.
Super fun sequence. We're introduced to this character of Quicksilver, who then plays no part in later portions of the movie and is not present during the first part of the movie. So it's like we meet a new character, he has one cool scene, get by.
That's okay.
Who gives a fuck about this guy?
That was his function in the movie, was to help him do this one specific thing. I'm okay with that.
I think that's kind of cheap.
And then they can bring him back for other movies.
I
if they
think
want.
that's kind of cheap. I think that was a cheap visual gag.
The game froze.
Uh-oh.
Yay!
Game froze. All right. We're off to a great start.
I'm great at suspension of disbelief. I love suspending my disbelief. And I'm super great in it. At it. Super great at it. I don't know. It didn't seem a lot of convenience. A lot of Professor X doesn't have his Professor X powers now. Because he's on a pill or whatever.
He's on the pill?
Because he's on the pill, right? That's what
No,
it was.
they're giving him a drug or something, right? I'm
Yeah,
trying to remember what happens in the movie.
He was on he was on like he was taking like, it was like a drug metaphor.
Yeah. I remember that.
Fuck it. It doesn't matter. I didn't like it. You guys liked it. Fuck you. How about that? How about that?
I also don't give a shit about X-Men, so I just kind of watched it as a movie.
Right. And that could have been a problem. And I watched it with Lisa, who is a much bigger X-Men fan than me. And in general, we were okay. Like the first X-Men movie, obviously, awkward years of action movies.
Yeah, that first one I didn't care. I know it was like a huge hit, but I didn't care much for it. I like the second one a lot.
The second
one
great.
is really good.
Second one's great. And the first one, though, it's like, remember, there wasn't anything like that at the time. And so it's like, for fans of the comic books, we get something now.
Yeah. Well, what I appreciated about those movies is they didn't have the like villain of the week mentality, where it's like every movie has to introduce a new villain. Like it didn't have any of that shit.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that.
Yeah.
Because that's what all, like, it's starting with, like, probably the Batman Returns, where it's like, we got the Penguin, but we also have Catwoman, and that's what started being like, each sequel has to have more villains
The
piled
exploding
on.
villain
Yeah.
pile up. Yeah.
I think it started with Batman Returns.
That's it. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That makes sense.
And then you end up with shit like Spider-Man 3. Just keep throwing in characters.
That'll fix it, right?
Yeah.
That'll fix the movie. We need more bad guys.
Just have your main character have some sort of conflict he has to deal with.
No, and I'm not mentioning X3 because we don't talk about that. We don't talk about X3.
But I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Remember
They
that
said
part?
it.
He said it in the movie.
Because of an internet.
Because of, yeah.
Because they said it on the internet and people say it on the internet.
Well, the movie's why they say that.
Yeah.
No, there was an internet
No,
thing
it was-
before the movie, right?
Yeah, it was an internet thing before.
And then they put it in the movie as a reference to
The internet.
that it became an internet thing. To the best of my
I didn't
knowledge.
know that.
Yeah. No, 100% can confirm. Was an internet thing. Was one of those like people doing bad voiceover jobs of the X-Men cartoon. It's a kind of silly video. If you're a fan of the X-Men cartoon, it's fine. What? If you don't, I'm a Juggernaut, bitch.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah. Let's make noises. I will wholeheartedly state, I see a lot of people shitting on Spider-Man 3 now. Spider-Man 3 is a better movie than The Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh God, yes.
I like a lot of things in Spider-Man 3. I know everybody hates that movie, but everybody hates the dancing, the Peter Parker dancing. I think I associate that more with a goofy, awkward Sam Raimi thing than a Spider-Man thing, and I think it's funny. Because it's Peter Parker doing what he thinks is cool.
Exactly. And
And
he's
you
a
see people
nerd.
walking by him like, what is this nerd doing?
Right.
And it's so goofy. Like, it feels like a Sam Raimi moment.
Yes.
You know?
What would someone who has no concept of what cool is do if they thought they were cool?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm fine with that. And that's one of the big things that everybody hated about that movie was that the Peter Parker dancing down the street.
I don't think it was the dancing on the street that they hated. It was the jazz club sequence after.
Oh, see, and I was okay with that too.
That took it a little too far.
Taking it a little too far is what people say when they haven't seen any Sam Raimi movies.
Dig on this. Peter Parker says, dig on this.
I know. it's funny because it's so over the top. There's a lot of things I won't defend in that movie,
Yeah.
but I'm okay with all that stuff.
All right. I can be okay with that stuff.
It's more evidence that Venom is a terrible villain.
No.
Well, I don't know about Venom in the comics. I just know he was shoehorned into the movie and it was terrible.
Venom is a great villain.
Weak motivation, lame. His powers is he's just strong. He's evil Spider-Man.
He's evil Spider-Man. No, but
That's a generic, stupid thing. The evil version of the hero. Yeah, that's real original.
who cares if it's original? The great thing about Venom is that he nullifies Spider-Man's spider sense. Because the symbiote was originally attached to
Create
Spider-Man.
an interesting character that nullifies his spider
Oh,
sense.
shit. Listen, original Venom it has crazy weak motivation. I agree with that. But Venom as a character, I think, is a great.
Venom existing in that third Spider-Man movie is such a just like dumb coincidence that this thing happens to fall from space right where Peter Parker is.
The dumb thing falls from space right where Peter Parker happens to be. The Sandman just so happened, like, as it turns out, there was another person who shot your uncle.
Oh, that's stupid too, the retconning. Yeah.
That's crazy dumb.
And the fact that they set up at the end of the second Spider-Man, like, holy shit, Harry Osborn knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Holy shit, how's this going to pay off in the next movie? And then they spend most of the third movie with him having amnesia. just so they don't have to deal with that.
They did that stupid shit in the comics, to be fair.
Oh, really? well,
I don't think that's a great excuse.
then it's stupid in the
Yeah.
comics as well.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Midnight of the Century. Thank you for subscribing. We very much appreciate it. Spider-Man 2 is great.
Spider-Man 2 is probably my favorite comic book movie.
A lot of the twos are great.
Yeah, they always get it. Well, they try and figure out what they're doing with the first movie.
Yeah.
They get it down, so the second movie is like exactly what it needs to be.
And then the third, they don't know what the fuck.
And then the third one, it gets bloated and fucked
Well,
up.
and then the third one, contractual obligations dry up, or directors decide they want to make Superman Returns.
Yeah. Yeah, Iron Man 2, someone mentioned that. That's an exception to the second movie getting it right. Iron Man 2 is kind of a mess.
Iron Man 2 is a copy-paste of Iron Man 1.
No, it's like they set up Mickey Rourke as the villain, and then
Yeah.
they don't know what to do with him for the entire middle of the movie, so he just kind of sits around doing nothing, and then he comes back to it near the end. And
I guess
it's lots of ideas with no cohesive story.
I can see Iron Man 2 as more of a setup, a straight setup to the Avengers than an Iron Man movie.
Well, that's what's frustrating too, is there's all these shoehorned in things.
That's
like,
not an excuse.
Yeah,
No, no,
it doesn't
no.
function as its own movie. It just functions as a setup for the Avengers.
Yes. It has...
I don't even love the first Iron Man, really. I love Robert Downey Jr. in all those movies, but I love all the setup in the first Iron Man of him like figuring out how the suit works and
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But then it's like Jeff Bridges shows up and he's got a bigger Iron Man suit, and then that's the end of the movie is them fighting. And
What else do you do?
I know that's the problem. I just that whole ending I didn't care about that at all. It was all the build up and him like learning and that process I like. And it's just Robert Downey Jr. and he's awesome in that part.
I think, though, that Iron Man 3 is an absolute goddamn fantastical masterpiece of action.
Everyone hates it.
I don't. Yeah, a lot of people hate Iron Man 3.
What?
I don't get
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Is this
It's
a
a big
thing?
thing. People were mad at us
We
for
were
recommending it.
criticized for liking it.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
They should teach classes on how good an action movie Iron Man
It's
3
Shane
is.
Black. Like, he knows how to write a movie like that. He's done it for decades.
Fucking shit, people. Get your shit together. Iron Man 3 is a masterpiece.
I wouldn't go so far as to call it a masterpiece, but it's a very good movie.
An action masterpiece. Very different than a
Oh, yeah,
masterpiece
okay.
masterpiece.
I don't even think I'd go that far, but I do like it.
I even like the kid in it.
Yeah. they put in a dumb kid
Yeah.
and they made him
And
okay.
they made it work.
Yeah.
And they made it work. Iron Man 3 is all about Robert Downey Jr., you know, believing in himself, right?
Yeah.
Discovering his powers because he doesn't have any superpowers, right?
Right.
So what's a really great action sequence between the second and third act is him not having the Iron Man suit and having... that didn't have textbook.
Yeah.
Exactly. He learned how to be a hero without his goddamn suit. He learned through an action sequence. That's what you do in an action movie.
Yeah. No, I understand. I don't understand the hatred for that anymore.
Oh, I'm defending my calling it a masterpiece.
Okay, that's fine.
The final...
But the Mandarin turned out to be fraud. It wasn't true to the comic books.
If people actually believe that, they're assholes and idiots. That was great. That was super fun.
I thought that was a nice twist.
That was a super fun twist, and along the same theme of the movie of kind of self-deception. Maybe that's a little arty-farty talk, but I might be. What do you call it? When that might be a little pretentious of me, reading into that, but. I'm going to talk about the last action sequence of Iron Man.
That's one thing that I know people complain about, where just all those Iron Man suits show up.
Oh, and I'm about to defend calling it a masterpiece again.
Okay, that's fine.
He does end up out of the suit a lot during
He
the
does.
action scene.
He does, because what's the major conflict between him and what's her tits?
Gwyneth Paltrow?
Gwyneth
Pepper
Paltrow,
Potts.
right? Pepper Potts. The main conflict is him like being too obsessed with the suits, right?
Yeah.
The suits being kind of his facade. And so during the last action sequence, what happens? He's jumping from facade to facade, and each of his exteriors are getting slashed away until it's just him left.
But people are looking at this literally, and they're looking at it as just like an action scene, and that's when they complain.
But it's also very, like, it's an exciting action scene as well, but like, it's also a visual metaphor of what the character is going through.
People don't want to see that, Jack.
Fucking hell, it's a masterpiece!
Nobody wants to see that.
No one wants to see perfectly executed visual metaphors. Then they shouldn't be watching movies. Oh man, I've seen Iron Man 3 2 times.
I've only seen it the one time in the theater. I should rewatch it. I would like to rewatch
I did
it.
rewatch it because I like the movie.
Yeah.
Oh no. Wait.
Talk about how much ass I'm kicking.
Isn't Shane Black doing something with Predator now?
Is he?
He's writing a new Predator.
That'd be great.
Him and Fred Decker, who wrote Monster Squad together. And Fred Decker hasn't worked in like 20 years.
What did we do Monster Squad for? Did we do that on Best of the Worst?
We just watched it at Jack's house.
Oh, that's right!
We had a double feature of Frozen and Monster Squad.
That was a great night. And you guys might be right. I might be reading too much into Iron Man 3, but also
I think you might have a point.
Yeah.
I think that's what they were going for. I'd like to think that was what they were going for. If not, that's what I see in it, and I like it.
The thing people complain about, though, is if he can call all those suits, why didn't he do that earlier in the movie?
Because there was rubble.
Okay.
In fact, there was extended sequences of him checking on the construction crew that was clearing out the rubble.
Oh, that's right, yeah. But was there some sort of conflict before his house got trashed, where that would have come in handy, taking all those suits? I'm trying to remember.
No, because he had his regular suit.
Okay.
But then his house got trashed and then his suit got trashed. People are complaining because it makes too much sense. They're complaining because they explain it. Like, if they mean, like, why didn't he use those suits in Avengers, I guess? Like, maybe he could have used them.
They weren't built in
But they
Avengers. He
weren't
built
built-
them because of the Avengers.
Yes.
Well, that's another thing people complain about all these Marvel movies now, since they're all connected, is like, why don't they call, why don't they call one of the other Avengers?
To be fair, that's a problem in the comic books, too.
Yeah, you just kind of have to go with it, like...
The Avengers don't answer their phone a whole lot in the comic books.
Yeah, you just have to accept that these are separate movies, and they're not going to call each other all the time.
Right.
I can handle that.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry, C3 Potato. I'm sorry that you agree with me and now you don't know what to think anymore. Yeah, we watched Frozen and we watched
Monster Squad. It's a very weird double feature.
A very strange thing.
And I had to face the unfortunate truth that Monster Squad's not very good. I still love it. I grew up with it, but
A little bit of a mess.
Dracula throws dynamite into a treehouse because that's what Dracula does.
And there's a buddy cop movie somewhere in the middle.
Well,
of
that's Shane
Monster
Black.
Squad. Well, yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Listen, I'm okay with Shane Black in general, but I think a movie about kids fighting monsters doesn't need a buddy cop.
Doesn't need a
movie.
buddy cop.
Just spitballing here.
Yes, Wolfman's got nards. That's the takeaway from that movie. That's the famous line. And Mall Rat Cal. Yes, why was the mummy hiding in the closet? Nothing in that movie makes any sense, right? I still love it, but it's not a good movie. I love it because of nostalgia.
Nico Cola, the beer that I was drinking earlier today, Ballast Point Scorpion.
Yeah, this is tasty.
Very good beer. And like any good beer, it's a high alcohol content. So you can save on calories and just drink one. OctoJ, watch Iron Man 3. God damn it.
Yeah, just watch it.
It's so great. The only thing I can't remember, like I want to, and I have called it a movie that they should teach. If you are interested in making action movies, you need to learn from Iron Man. I think every action sequence in that movie serves a purpose to either move the story forward or to further character development, which should be in any good action movie. That's what the action sequences are for. Like a musical, the musical numbers, that's what they do, right?
Yeah.
And you get to listen to classy tunes. The only thing I don't remember is what the first action sequence is. Because it starts in the past. It starts in the year 1999.
Oh yeah, there's with the Guy Pearce character
Yeah.
who's playing Jim Carrey from Batman Forever. That whole sequence happens. What is the first action scene?
That's what I can't remember what the first action.
The house blowing up.
Is that it?
Really?
I think so? Yeah.
That's a pretty far way into the movie.
'Cause
when that
usually there's an
happens.
opening.
Yeah, you gotta have the opening action scene. Maybe it doesn't have one.
Maybe it doesn't have one.
I need to rewatch it. I
The
don't
first
know.
action sequence is the Avengers.
Yes.
The entirety. Of
The whole movie, yeah.
whole movie. Iron Man 3 has huge plot holes. I mean, it could, I guess, but I don't think it's true. State your case, C3 Potato. I'm gonna say your name because I like it. C3 Potato.
Well, that's what everybody complains about. It might have a plot hole or two. And as we all know, any plot hole means that the movie is complete dog shit.
Absolutely.
Anything that doesn't completely add up means that the whole movie is horrible.
Right.
Mike's partly to blame for that attitude.
Mike is 100% to blame. For that.
No, I don't think Mike's to blame. I think people that watch the videos and get the wrong impression are to blame.
Sure. Robert Bizarjaw. 100%. The Incredibles is such a good superhero.
Yes.
Yeah, The Incredibles is great.
The Incredibles is a good James Bond movie.
The Incredibles is a good everything movie. The Incredibles is the type of movie that we deserve.
The scene I always loved in that is when they're on the island towards the end and the mom is in the cave with the two kids and she's just flat out telling her children, like, there are people out there that'll fucking kill you.
Yes.
Like, just like flat out stating it. I was like, wow. For a kid's movie, that's pretty intense.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
Stakes.
Yeah. Yeah, stakes, exactly.
Nice. Not usually seen in children's movies.
Is Brad Bird doing the next one?
The next what? Incredibles?
I've
Are they
heard
doing
they're
another
doing
Incredibles?
one.
If they're doing one, it's probably Brad Bird. I can't imagine he would let anyone else do
Well,
it.
he's moved on to live action stuff now. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but he was so like Incredibles is his thing. It's
Yeah,
not, it's not
that's true.
Pixar's. Like, I can't
He
imagine
owns
him,
the rights? I can't imagine that.
I can't imagine him being okay with anyone else making.
That doesn't mean they won't.
That doesn't mean they won't, but I mean Brad Bird has done well enough by them. He probably has to say. I hope. This is all me talking hopefully. My ex-girlfriend hates The Incredibles. I don't date her anymore.
You made the right call.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I knew a guy who broke up with his girlfriend because she didn't much care for Airplane.
Okay,
That's
I can see
harsh.
that. Rich and I are on opposite ends here.
I think it's perfect.
Look, Airplane's great, but I don't know if you should break up over not liking Airplane.
I guess it depends on how much you personally like Airplane.
Yeah.
If
How
that's
often?
your, if,
How often is this going to come up? Be a schism
But
between
no.
two?
Airplane is the canary in the mine. Like, what else is she not gonna like? You know.
Yeah.
Because the
Alright.
canary will die.
yeah, you
Alright.
have to have those movies where it's like, if they don't like this, then we're not going
Well,
to
then you're
work.
not liking her because she's a humorless jerk and not because she doesn't like Airplane.
That's valid, though.
This is
Yes,
valid,
that's
yeah.
valid.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The logic makes sense, but that's where he made the decision, and he did not explore it any farther than that. Oh, you don't like Airplane? Sorry.
Yeah, I like Airplane, but I don't think that would be the tipping point for me.
You don't think?
No.
I mean, it's Airplane.
I love Airplane, sure. I mean, there are other movies, though, that are more, like, important to me and, like, personal to me, where it's like, if she doesn't like this movie, I don't think that it's going to work out.
Okay, what's that? Think of something off the top right now.
I would say Eraserhead
Okay.
and Taxi Driver and The Graduate.
What if like she was just indifferent?
Well, then it would depend on a lot of other factors
Sure.
outside of just movies. But movies are such a big part of
Sure.
you know who I am and what my interests are. So
All right, that makes sense. That makes sense. But if
now that someone has to agree with all my opinions on every movie ever, but those specific movies are like, they mean so much to me.
sure, they mark so much of your personality. where
Yes,
that
yes.
would be an indication of other glaring personality differences.
Yes, exactly. a microcosm of larger issues.
One of the few films my boyfriend and I watched together was The Room, 5 years and counting. There you go.
There you go. That might be one to add to the list. It's The Room.
You must get The Room.
Because that's on the other end. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, Eraserhead, Taxi Driver, like, I love those movies.
Yeah.
But The Room is, like, the ultimate so bad it's good movie.
You have to be able to watch
And I love, you know, bad movies.
What if they haven't seen any of these movies?
Well, then you introduce them to it.
Yeah.
And then you have that awkward viewing experience if they don't like it. That's the worst. When
you're
you're
just waiting?
Like, there's a movie that you love and
Yeah.
you show it to someone, and then you can tell they're not into it, but you got to finish the whole movie.
Yep.
That is the worst experience.
Yeah.
I've been through that a few times. It sucks. It's like soul crushing. Where it's like, this movie means so much to me. Oh, this isn't working.
So you want to walk home?
Oh. My girlfriend liked Feeding Frenzy. I haven't spoken to her since.
Oh.
Yeah, I can see it.
I can see it. I just the other day illegally ripped a copy of Feeding Frenzy.
Awarded.
What?
I did.
Don't you have a copy?
No, I mean I ripped it from the DVD.
Oh, I thought you meant like you torrented our movie.
I digitally
that
ripped
you're
it.
in.
I digitally ripped it.
Oh, okay. That's different.
I needed a sequence for the next prereq. We talk about. I have a movie analog for why I dislike button tabs,
Okay.
and I needed a sequence from a movie, and I thought there's a scene in Feeding Frenzy where Rich and I are both in that scene, so I was like, I can use this,
Oh, okay.
but I needed to rip it out. I watched a little bit of it. Good stuff. Good stuff.
What scene did you use?
The,
There's only a couple with the two of you, I guess.
Yeah, it's the one outside me holding the shotgun.
Oh, yeah.
In the wheelchair.
Okay.
So,
That scene that was miserable to shoot.
no,
Every scene is miserable to shoot.
that was a fun day.
Well, that was when we had a cutoff time for Jillian. Because like, I have to drive back to Chicago, so we're like rushing to get everything. And it was raining. I remember it kept like sprinkling.
Yep.
That was bad.
We watched that, and on Josh's suggestion, we were talking about it. I rewatched Not Quite Dead Yet.
What's that?
Oh, that's your thing. Or you were involved in it.
I
right?
have not seen that movie. Yeah, oh no, I wrote it and co-directed it.
Okay. I didn't remember how much involvement you had.
Acted in it. I have not seen it in maybe a decade. I
Okay.
mean, I just don't, I don't look
Bob
back there.
Turton's still great in that movie.
Bob Turton's so great in that movie. You know who's really bad in that movie? Me.
I don't even remember you in it. I think when I saw it, I didn't know you.
That might be true.
I don't think I knew you when I saw that movie.
It's
So I'd have to rewatch it to even remember who you are. Oh wait, are you the guy who keeps getting shot?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm Squibs,
Squibs, that's right.
the lovable best friend who keeps getting shot.
Yeah, okay.
For context for the chat, this is
Oh yeah, I guess they have no idea what the hell we're talking about.
this is a short. Oh, an eyeball. This is a short movie that I made with my cousin 15 years ago. I mean, no, not 15 years ago. Maybe 10 years ago. I have no idea. A long time ago. I have no concept of space or time. This was one of the very first things that I made, like on a big level, like it's a 20-minute short, and it's rough to watch. It's rough to watch now.
I remember thinking it was funny.
It gets a lot better, but like the first all of the exposition is so clunky.
That's usually how it works. Is like the setup is always sort of awkward, and then as the movie goes along, it gets better. I feel that way about Beach Frenzy.
Yeah,
Getting the setup out of the way is always the hardest part.
it is.
Yeah,
You're just not good enough to do it right.
that's probably true too.
It was on the commentary track of Terminator. James Cameron said that's why all the exposition happens during the chase scene.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good. That's like any good action movie.
They're
That's
like
what
ducking
the
shots while they're saying, "I'm from the future." And
Yep.
Is there a version of Terminator with a commentary track? The version I have doesn't.
I think mine does.
Okay. It has deleted scenes with commentary.
If not from a commentary track, I've heard that somewhere. Him say that.
Sure,
Okay.
it makes sense.
I wish there was a commentary track on my Terminator Blu-ray.
No, Mall Radical. There's nowhere you can see it. I was thinking of uploading it to YouTube, but then I watched it. And I was like, I don't know.
That's how I am with a lot of my old films too, where it's like I know people have said like they'd be curious to see it, but nope.
There's some really good jokes in it.
You think you want to see it until you see it.
Yeah, and also we used some copywritten songs, like just straight up.
Yeah, that was I used to do that all the time too.
Yeah.
Because you weren't thinking about that. You don't care. You're
No.
just
You're
making them
making
for
it
fun.
for fun.
Yeah, you're making it
Yeah.
for fun.
Yeah, so I'd have to see if I could find the files, which I don't have. Oh god, I don't have it. So I don't even think I could get it up on YouTube. It has
Using only bots. You can only throw one at a
what song does it? It has a I forget. It has a song that YouTube might recognize and flag, like a big enough song. Nothing crazy, but I don't know. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll have Jay watch it again.
I just remember Bob Turton. I just remember him being hilarious in it.
Bob Turton is hilarious in it.
victory.
Oh, that Bob Turton.
He's the best. To give you a sense of how old it was, we had Bob Turton riff on Google and different things you could do on the internet, because at the time the internet was such a
Oh,
new
that's
thing.
right. I remember that part. Yeah.
And so he's like, Google, you haven't heard of Google? Like this, that was the joke, is that people hadn't heard of Google yet. That's how old this movie is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could Google all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, he's just listing off things that you can Google.
Yes, it was great.
I'm assuming some of that is ad-libs, right?
All of that is
All of
it.
it? Okay.
All we said was like, Google, you never heard of Google, and we said, Bob, go from there.
Okay.
He went for days. My uncle is in it, who's great. My uncle is the best worst actor in the world. So,
How old were you?
19?
Oh my god.
20? I don't know.
Oh, I have to see this.
Yeah. Maybe later than that. I don't know. Jake was still in college. I don't know. I have no concept of space or time. It's a rough watch, but we burned a bunch of DVDs, like printed out covers, and in my basement still is like 30 DVDs because I'm a horrible pack rat. So I have a box of 30 DVDs.
Well, you never know when you need them.
Yeah, I was still a farm boy. We shot it on my grandparents' old farm, in the old farmhouse that was recently razed, as in destroyed. Because
Oh.
razed is a synonym for destroyed. Which is
Is it the barn that we shot Dock of the Dead at?
weird. No, not the big red barn.
Oh, okay.
It's a great barn. If you don't remember what the barn looked like in the movie,
I don't. It's been a while.
great old creepy barn.
Okay.
Unfortunately, got leveled. Jack has no concept of space or time. Just live in the Marvel universe, right? Right. Jack, will Space Cops time travel be better than X-Men Days of Future Past?
Yes.
Yes. I can only assume. Here's the truth. I have not seen enough of Space Cop to know how Space Cop travels through time. So
What's the issue? The method of travel?
I can only assume that Space Cop does not travel through time through his consciousness.
No.
So therefore, it's better.
He travels through time with the power of schlock.
Yeah. As long as it's not someone pushing your consciousness to a past form of yourself. No, then we're fine. You Wisconsinites in your creepy barn. It's true, we're full of them. We are full of them.
That's all there is up here. Barns.
Yeah, a bunch of creepy
Barns
old
and snow.
Victory.
Yeah.
Platinum medal awarded. Beat the enemy.
Ooh, Trilbo Swaggin says he finally watched Miami Connection. Congratulations. You're welcome.
What did you think?
I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Miami Connection is so great. Recommend more kids show like the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I need more stuff to watch like that when I first wake up and my brain is still mush.
Spectacular Spider-Man?
Actually, Ultimate Spider-Man.
Spectacular.
They asked me, Rich.
Well, you're dumb.
Ultimate Spider-Man is a fantastic, well, new show. Spectacular Spider-Man isn't there. Ultimate Spider-Man is a really fantastic Spider-Man. I really enjoy it. Batman Brave and the Bold is a nice, light Batman movie. Or Batman TV show. Cartoon. I really like that.
I don't think that one's still on.
Oh. Netflix.
So we can Netflix Batman Brave and the Bold, but he can't Netflix Spectacular Spider-Man.
But why do that when you could Netflix Ultimate Spider-Man and it's way better?
And what way is Ultimate Spider-Man better? It's the goofier one where he like does anime things and talks to himself and his thoughts come to life or whatever. It's Goofy Spider-Man.
There's some goofy elements, but there's also a little more Shield stuff. There's more characters that we enjoy. Power Man is in it. I'm a fan of Power Man in general.
Power Man 5000, the band.
Yep, the entire band is in it, a la old Scooby-Doo episodes where like bands or the
where bands showed up.
Would show up.
Power Man? What do you mean, Nick Cage? I mean, not Nick Cage. Nick Fury? No. Yeah, Cage.
Cage.
Luke Cage. Thank you.
Luke Cage, a.k.a. Power Man. Luke Cage, hero for hire.
I don't know what that means. I don't know who this
He
is.
was Marvel's version of a blaxploitation character.
He was.
Okay.
Where he's basically just super strong and has unbreakable skin.
And an afro.
At
least at one point he had an afro.
Most notable as being the first African American with his own comic book series.
Okay.
Not to be confused with the Falcon, who was the first African American hero.
Yeah, but he's a horrible mercenary who fights for money. I don't know if it was
Falcon?
much of a... No. Power Man.
Power Man,
I
yeah.
don't know if that was much of a step up.
No. These are just things you should know. It's February. It's Black History Month. We should know this. Not to be confused with the first black superhero with his own comic book, who was Black Panther, but he was African, and it took place in Africa.
Okay.
So, the Falcon and Luke Cage are the ones to know.
When did Blade come into play? Was that much later?
Later.
Okay.
Slightly later. No, I think Blade was a character, but he just didn't have his own book.
Okay.
So. Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage is Mortal Kombat. That's who Johnny Cage is.
I think that's where my brain was going.
Yeah, I like it.
My brain was doing all kinds of things.
Luke Cage had a couple of fun runs. Like, I read a couple little runs with him and Iron Fist. who was just a person who knows Kung Fu really well and can power up his fist to punch hard.
So he has hands of steel.
He does!
Or a hand of steel.
He has a hand of steel!
Is he the perfect cyborg?
I am the perfect cyborg.
I'm so glad that Mike put that in a couple times.
Well, you got to.
Because there was no, like, Mike didn't mess with the shot. Like, he didn't zoom in.
No, it's just framed that way.
And he didn't mess with the voice. That was the shot.
I am the perfect cyborg.
Yeah.
That was the one they went with.
It was the only one they shot, probably.
And I loved it.
One take.
Oh my god. She was the perfect cyborg because she had a claw finger.
Yes. Yes.
Pretty decent episode. That's the worst.
I think so. One thing that doesn't get pointed out, both Alien from the Deep and Hands of Steel were both directed by famous Italian B-movie filmmakers. We mentioned Alien from the Deep being Italian. We don't mention that Hands of Steel was actually made by... Alien from the Deep was Antonio Margaretti.
It doesn't look very Italian.
No, but it was an Italian movie. It just had a couple of American actors in it. I can't remember the guy who directed its name, but he's famous for doing a pretty famous slasher movie called Torso.
Okay.
Hands of Steel.
Okay.
And Antonio Margaretti is famous for another Italian slasher movie. I can't remember what the name of it is. But those two, that's another thing, because we were talking about like 2 of the 3 movies have something in common. That's something those two have in common that we didn't know at the time.
Overall, I was pretty disappointed in the graphic of the things that the movies had in common.
Why were you disappointed?
Because I thought it looked super lame.
It's supposed to. Looks like what those types of things look like. If you look at like your cable packages, that's what it looks like.
I wanted, when we were talking about this, I was picturing like 3 stills from the movies, or like the 3 boxes, and then like a connecting line with the different sayings connecting the 2.
Yeah, that's a different type of thing.
I was picturing it
He was going for
differently.
like the cable packages, and that's the way those look. So.
I was a little disappointed. The visual in my head, which of course is in no one else's head because they were there for the discussion.
Right.
But the visual in my head was much grander.
Okay.
So, I guess what I'm saying is the whole episode is ruined.
It is. Yeah. The whole episode. We're gonna scrap it. We're gonna reshoot it.
Great.
And then re-edit it.
Love it.
It'll be up tomorrow actually.
Oh,
we're gonna
great.
do it tonight.
We're gonna shoot it tonight.
Yes.
And edit it.
And edit it tonight, and it'll be up tomorrow.
Do you think we have to?
Because
watch
editing
the 3
isn't a
movies?
time-consuming process. I mean, we just sit there and talk. It's the easiest thing in the world. We just sit there and talk. It's so easy to slap those together in editing.
Jay, I think you're being sarcastic.
I don't know what that means. But yeah, Antonio Margaretti. That was something that got cut out, but we were talking about how that's referenced. That director is referenced in *Inglourious Bastards*.
Right.
The bastards going to the movie premiere at the end and pretending to be these Italian filmmakers, and Eli Roth is Antonio Margaretti. And Christoph Waltz makes him keep saying his name over and over because he knows the frauds and he thinks it's funny.
Oh, Rich and Jack. Strafe has only 8 hours left to go in their Kickstarter. Mind saying something before the Kickstarter is done?
They made their goal.
What else do you want us
Yeah.
to say? We did 2 days on Strafe, including an in-depth interview with the creator.
Look, I thought the game looked neat. I'm not here to shill for him.
What more do you want from us? We're excited. We contributed to the Kickstarter. Fuck, man.
He's over the top. Whatever. What do you want?
Right?
They made their goal.
I don't want to. What do you want us to say that you don't already know? Dominic Beccocco? Dominic DeCoco, was that it?
What?
What are you talking about?
Is that the other director? Dominic
Oh.
DeCoco?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, Antonio Margaretti and
You couldn't think of the other director's name. So I see someone is saying Dominic DeCoco.
that doesn't sound right. Let me look it up.
Luke Cage,
He directed the movie
1972.
Torso.
C3 Potato does Blade have his own book in 1973?
Sergio Martino is the other
Sergio
director. He
Martino.
directed the movie Torso. And let me look up what Margaretti directed.
I want to say Blade was just a character. Was it Dracula by Night, or what was it called? Some kind of name like that. Another pull this.
Oh, Antonio Margaretti did Your Hunter from the Future.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he also
Oh,
directed
fun.
that, which is why the old man from Your is in it.
Great.
I mean, oh god, he's directed tons of movies here. Alien from the Deep was one of his last.
It shows.
Because it was so good, there was no need to continue on.
Which one's more entertaining, Your or Alien from the Deep?
Your.
100%.
Yeah.
He punches a dinosaur.
Monster is more impressive in Alien from the Deep.
Do you remember the paper mache dinosaurs?
Yes.
That's why I say more impressive in Aliens from the Deep.
No, yours is definitely crazier. Doesn't he have a flaming sword at one point?
Yes.
In
I don't remember.
Yeah. Darth Vader's in your. That was great. Oh, those are first appearances. Thank you, C3 Potato.
Your does have its own theme song. Yours World theme song.
Yours world. Oh, your.
And it has who's the guy in it? Fuck.
Reb?
Reb Brown, yeah.
Reb's in it. Oh, fucking Reb. And it has every lady in the free world jonesing for Reb's nuts. No, yours is a special place.
Yeah.
Someone sent us the because it was made. I don't know if it was made as a miniseries or it was released as a miniseries somewhere in the world.
Okay.
And someone sent us the DVD version of the miniseries.
Oh.
I'm assuming it's the same thing, just chopped up into like
What if it had
half-hour
bonus
chunks.
footage?
I don't know. I haven't watched it. I haven't felt a strong urge to revisit Your.
Yeah.
Maybe someday. I've seen it twice now. I saw it at B-Fest too. So.
That's right. That's a good best.
It did.
That's right. Reb. Oh, yeah, you guys are just catching up to that.
We couldn't remember his name.
Reb. Reb Brown. Rich does have deadly fingers. Kinda killing it. Blade didn't get his own book until 1994.
Yep.
Really?
That's what I thought.
Wow.
He was a side character in something else.
Yeah. But I mean, his first appearance is in the 70s, and he didn't get his own book
Until the
until
90s.
94.
Wow. And then when the first Blade movie come out, that was like 98, 99?
We gotta what
Was
the
that
fuck.
was that post Matrix?
Oh,
I heard of what the fuck. I can't
I
see
remember
what
it
it is.
looking like the Matrix. so-
Right. Norbel Knob.
98.
Norbel Knob, thank you for subscribing. We really appreciate it. 98.
98. So, he got a movie shortly after he got his first comic book. That's kind of funny. Then again, the Guardians of the Galaxy movie was based on
The reboot.
the comic book that
Yeah.
just premiered a couple of years earlier.
Right.
So,
The reboot of the Guardians comic, which was never that popular.
right. Remember Wesley
Never in any
Snipes?
way, shape, or form popular.
Remember Wesley Snipes? No, even the reboot wasn't that popular.
No?
No, did not sell exceptionally well. Such a quiet and graceful. What the fuck?
What happened?
I don't know. Oh, Ozmike. Thank you for subscribing. We very much appreciate it. Post Matrix was a great movie. Post Matrix does sound like the name of the movie.
No, it was an era of film and it sucked.
Yes. Yes. Post Matrix.
Equilibrium.
Bad.
I don't even remember it. Ultraviolet, I think, was a post-Matrix movie.
Yeah. The worst part of Post Matrix was
The Matrix sequels. It's true.
The was the fan-made Matrix sequels.
Oh, sure. Yeah, post Tarantino, there was lots of shitty people making shitty like dorm movies, where people tried to make Tarantino movies in their dorms.
Yep.
And then post Matrix,
They were making shitty action sequences outside of their dorms.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. They traded their guns.
I'll take that over the Tarantino dorm movies.
I don't want to have anything to do with any of them. They were all terrible.
What are they doing now?
I don't even know.
What kind of shitty movies? And you know, we
They're
can
not
have.
making movies. They're just working in a bank or something.
they're-
They got real jobs. They grew
No,
up.
not the
No,
people
no,
that
no,
were making
no.
movies then,
The
but
next
like what are people
generation.
ripping off now?
Oh!
What are like 18-year-olds ripping off now?
Right. Which, by the way, like, we make fun of it, but it's like, we all did the same thing. We all made these shitty movies.
You learn by doing.
We didn't. I can't speak for you, Jack, but we did not rip off other people. We made our own shit.
No, I mean before.
No,
like-
you made fun of people ripping
Yes!
off. You've been making fun of people for your entire life,
Yeah.
basically.
No, we've all made shitty things.
Yeah, but you and Mike made shitty movies.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes, but
Absolutely.
we
But
at
they
least
weren't
were-
rip-offs of other
Yes.
things. Yeah.
No, but like even like making shitty ripoffs is and can be a good starting point. Like you start by making little shitty ripoffs. and then you
One
grow.
thing that everybody does is they make their lightsaber duel. Everybody shoots a lightsaber duel because they're learning how to use After Effects. Everybody does that.
Yep. Oh sure. And so I wonder what is the thing that people are making right now? Like you're in college, maybe you're in film school. You got a camera.
I don't know. What are people ripping off now?
I don't know.
Does anyone have an answer for us? Because I honestly don't know what they would be ripping off.
Jeff who lives at home.
I feel like we haven't had. I guess maybe they're making mumblecore movies, and that would be unfortunate. But
Yeah.
but as far as like big movies, you know, you had Tarantino, you had Pulp Fiction, and then you had The Matrix. Like, what's the modern equivalent of that everyone would be ripping off?
What's the
I can't think of anything with any sort of like really distinct style.
What's the big art house? What's the blockbuster art house?
Maybe
that-
now people will be ripping off Birdman, like trying to do single take things. I don't even know.
Sure. Found footage? Are they still
Yeah, I
doing
guess found footage is still pretty popular because it's cheap. They
Yeah.
make them cheaply, and they just,
true.
so that's one, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of like hipster mumblecore. Like
Ugh, that's the worst.
it's extra tough now because like everyone has a DSLR, so they can all do that rack focus.
Yeah, yeah.
they
With
can
the
all do
shallow
that.
depth of field. And,
Handheld rack focus, make it look all arty and shit.
yeah.
Look, it's like I'm seeing through the chain link fence, but then I focus on the chain link fence. That's a shot. You're gonna see it. Everyone's a YouTuber now. No, that's fine. They should be a YouTuber. Just get it out of your system.
Yeah, if you're gonna rip off shit to learn, which most people do,
Yeah.
just rip off shit you like, not what's popular.
For sure. No, I mean,
I was ripping off like John Waters, you know, like when I was in high school.
But by the way-
I wasn't ripping off Pulp Fiction.
don't listen to Jay. Jay's a hipster. Rip off whatever you like. Just don't make that your business.
I guess, yeah. Do it to learn. Don't do it like and try and show it to people as if anyone should care.
Right, like I made a fun. I'm trying to think of an example. Oh God. Oh, you know what? I mean, Jake and I definitely tried to make our own DIY Matrix shots a lot.
Oh.
Obviously, we didn't have. The
Oh, you're
rig,
trying to do the bullet time thing.
the bullet
Yeah.
time. No fight sequences. We're not assholes. But no, we would try to do bullet time shots all the time, like making our own DIY ones. They never looked great, but it's like, you know, we were trying some stuff out. Don't be discouraged if you think something's been done before. I'm trying to be positive.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, because and I see a lot of people like sensing contradictions, but it's like, no, you make something that's a ripoff. You know, let's say you're making a Matrix ripoff. You want to make a fight sequence, and that's fine. Don't then try to show that at a film festival.
Yeah.
As an example, you want to show that to your friends. We made a fun thing.
You're making that as just in an attempt to try and do it.
Right.
You're doing it for the experience, not so people can watch.
You're not hoping to sell that at your local Blockbuster.
Nobody's doing that.
Well, as an example.
Yeah.
You're not.
Your odds of making it in would be better now.
It's true. But you know, like, don't film a ripoff and then expect it to get 1 million billion views on YouTube. Would be a more modern example. That's how we did that before, yes. You know, make stuff for fun, and if it's a ripoff, that's okay. Just don't make that your business.
Shit.
Unless, of course, you're doing high-end parody, and that's a different thing.
Well, yeah, parody's not ripoff.
Parody's not ripoff. Oh, the irony. Jack called Jay a hipster, right? I did that on purpose, because I know you guys call me a hipster.
Jack, I apologize for calling you hipster that once during the best of the worst.
No, people are going to call me that no matter what. I have a very discerning taste.
I don't think I even fully understand what a hipster is.
Just go with it. You just have to kind of go.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, he's a hipster. No, he's not it.
Hipster's becoming a word like pretentious. Like everybody calls everything pretentious.
Yeah,
Now now that everyone calls everybody a hipster.
it's true.
It's a word that's lost all meaning.
Yeah. What was it before hipster? I'm trying to think.
I don't know.
Because hipster is basically like yuppie.
There was yuppies in the 80s.
Yuppies
There was
in the 80s.
emo in the 90s.
Emo. I think that was.
Is
right
that what you're
before.
thinking of? Yeah.
Everyone was.
These
emo.
all have different meanings, of course, but
Right.
you mean like the go-to word
Yeah.
that loses all meaning.
That loses on.
Yeah.
Emo means nothing.
Goth. There was goth. Although goth is probably a little more specific.
Probably. Hipsters, you only like things ironically, and if it's popular, you don't like it. Oh, well then I can't be a hipster because I love Taylor Swift. Unironically. And we've talked about that many times. So, there. Punched out. Oh, damn it.
Does that mean they have to like you now?
Hipster rule number 2 is deny being a hipster, jokingly call everyone else a hipster. Damn it!
That's true.
I'm back in. Okay, I'm back in. Fuck, guys. Give me some more rules.
Give me some more rules.
I'll see if I can get out of this. Ooh, here we go. Hipsters are rich people that like to dress like they're poor. I'm very poor.
I don't think that's true.
Does that count?
Hipsters aren't. No, I don't think that's accurate.
You don't think that's accurate?
I'm calling you out, whoever said that. I don't
Damn
think
it.
that's right.
Your enemy is thunderstorm.
Oh, that's a terribly funny joke. I'm gonna repeat it. I wish my lawn was emo, so it would cut itself.
Wow, we just
terrible
went through
joke.
a time machine
Yeah,
to 2001.
that's a terrible joke, but a very good joke. So. Hipster is just a fashion dude. Yes. Like yuppie before it, like emo, like grunge, like hippie. They were things at one point, and then
Everything gets co-opted and turns into bland nothing.
Yep. So wait, we need the next thing.
What's the next thing?
Start making the next thing, guys. Work on that, and then you can call me that thing. But hipsters are adults that get allowance. No, that's called having a job. It's called a paycheck. When you become an adult, you'll find out. It's great.
Well, that's great until you have to start paying rent.
Right. But that's what the paycheck is for. Or that's what the job allowance is for. It's for paying bills and stuff.
Hack fraud is the new thing.
There we go.
I have always been, and probably always will be, a hack fraud, so that's okay. I can tolerate that. Oh no, John Kilo, you're right. I'm a juggalo. I'm down with the cloud.
That's right. You're down to clown until you're dead in the ground.
For life.
For life.
Number 4, life. How long can they do that?
Do what?
The Insane Clown Posse. Like, are they going to be doing that in their 50s?
You know
Are they still
will.
doing it?
Yeah.
As long
They
as
have a whole empire. Those guys are fucking rich. By taking
Lots.
advantage of dumb people.
Lots of white trash in this world.
Yeah, yeah.
if that's how they will do it as long as they can pay the bills.
Okay.
As soon as it stops making money, they will move on.
Yeah, they have a whole little empire going.
And when they're dead, in their clown makeup, in their caskets, their proteges or whatever will continue the
Hey,
brand.
If Kiss can still do it.
That's
Boom.
true. That's very, yeah. Yeah, that's a good comparison, actually.
Boom.
I guess I'm okay with Kiss still doing it, because Kiss doesn't seem as stupid. It's theatrical, but it doesn't seem as, like, pathetic.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not that I'm a big Kiss fan or anything, but I don't
I
know.
think weren't we talking about this the other day, where Kiss and Insane Clown Posse is a lot like Christianity and Scientology. One's just been around longer. They're both the same kind of crazy.
That was you and me.
Yeah,
I enjoy Kiss's music more.
sure.
I hate Insane Clown Posse's music, so...
Okay, I can agree with you.
And I'm not that I'm a huge Kiss fan, but
Right.
I can appreciate it as music more than Insane Clown Posse.
Kiss know that they're just a business. No, Insane Clown Posse knows that they're just a business.
They're both yeah. Kiss and Insane Clown Posse are pretty much the same in that regard.
Yes. Insane Clown Posse is very aware of their brand value. And don't ever think that they're not.
All right, here's the difference. Are the fans aware?
Ooh.
Because I think the Kiss fans...
Kiss fans are more aware,
Yes.
I would say.
That's the major difference.
There
Yeah.
we go. That's it then. I was called a juggalo by a hipster once just because I was drinking a Fanta.
Fanta's not what they drink. They drink Faygo.
Faygo is what they drink. I think that's what you meant. So, get it together. You can't come to the next gathering until you drink at least 3 Faygos.
Hey, Faygo?
Yeah, there is a specific cult of people who insist on keeping it alive.
That's the official drink of Juggalos, is Faygo.
It's Faygo. Kiss is part of the Marvel Universe. That's true.
They had a comic book, right?
You know
And
who
there's
else?
the folk tale that they all cut their fingers open and bled into the ink of the comic book. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but
Right.
that's the story.
Santa Claus is part of the Marvel Universe. Santa Claus, in official Marvel canon, Santa Claus is a mutant, one of the most powerful mutants.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Toxic Avenger is a part of the Marvel Universe.
Is he?
Or was at one point.
Wow.
There was a comic book that was released through Marvel.
Did he interact with Marvel too?
Well,
I don't know that.
was he part of the Marvel? Yeah. 'Cause,
Is that okay? It's not just a comic released through Marvel. It has
Right.
to. Oh, okay. Then probably not.
there
but I
is
don't know
a-
for sure.
There is a continuity.
Well, they used to. I think they're getting ready to throw that out the window.
Well, that's a whole other story. There will still be a continuity, just a different continuity. Fago for Jago? What, Osmike? I said that because that was stupid.
Congratulations on saying something stupid.
Yep. For typing. You typed something that was stupid. So stupid I needed to say it. So I appreciate that. David Letterman is part of the Marvel Universe. There you go.
Yeah. So the Saturday Night Live, like the original cast.
Oh my
Spider-Man
god.
met the original cast of SNL.
Sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I believe it.
That's interesting.
There you go. There you go. Spoilers, guys. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I didn't know. I didn't know that. I thought you knew. Thought you knew
Spoilers about
Santa.
what?
I think about
David
Santa.
Letterman being a part of the Marvel
I
Universe?
have no idea what we're talking about anymore. Is that true? Colbert became president in the Marvel Universe? That's definitely not true. Spider-Man did not fight Powdered Toast Man. Come on.
There was a Ren and Stimpy comic book.
Okay.
I don't know if it was Marvel, but I remember there being a Ren and Stimpy comic book. I think I had like one issue of
Yep.
it because I was a big fan of Ren and Stimpy way back when.
Yeah, you should. Didn't Johnny Depp just have a new movie out?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Mordecai was a huge flop.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Good. Good.
Yeah, he needs to stop.
He needs
to stop.
Just take a break. Shave. It looks ridiculous.
Make a movie where you're not playing a goofy character with a goofy accent
And a goofy mustache.
and a goofy mustache.
Also, in real life, get rid of your goofy mustache. It doesn't work.
Does he have a mustache in real life?
It's terrible. It's like a mustache goatee thing.
Oh.
It looks ridiculous, and someone needs to tell him that.
He was in Ed Wood. He's so great in Ed Wood.
He's good in a lot of things.
He's a good actor.
Yes.
Have you ever seen What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Yeah.
He's great in that.
He's great in that.
I give him credit. After 21 Jump Street, he could have coasted on the Pretty Boy thing. For a
Yeah.
while.
No, he took chances.
Yes.
He did weird things.
Yes.
Did continue to do weird things for a long time, but these last few years, I guess it's Pirates of the Caribbean was sort of the start of it, right?
Yeah,
And
but
he's-
he must have made so much money with Pirates. Why is he still fucking about?
I don't know.
Is he getting ready for retirement?
I don't know. Doesn't he own like an island? Maybe he needs to pay off his island.
Fucking Johnny Depp.
But yeah, I don't know.
Sell the island, move to Milwaukee. You could live like a god here.
I'm sure he just sold him. If he heard this, he'd be like,
Yeah.
okay.
You would never have to work another day in your life. You could.
He already doesn't have to work another day in his life.
That's true.
I think he's set.
Yeah. Then why is he making these shitty movies?
I don't know. I saw that Mordecai. I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
And I was like, this looks like a nothing movie. Like, no one's going to be talking about this in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's gone forever.
And it's gone already.
And yeah, nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. It flopped.
Fear and Loathing. Oh, another.
Oh,
great
he's
Johnny
great in
Depp.
Fear and Loathing.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Nice pointing that out.
He's great in a lot of things.
He's great in a lot of things.
Deadpan, Jim Jarmusch movies, good in that. But most importantly, Ed Wood. Just because I love that movie so much.
Fuck those pirate movies. I agree. Fuck those pirate movies.
I liked the first one. I saw it in the theater. I was like, that was fun.
Yeah.
I had no interest in seeing any more after that.
It was mildly acceptable.
It was fine. I
pirate
had fun watching it.
Pirate movie. You see pirates and they were these skeletons.
I enjoyed it mostly because of Johnny Depp.
Okay.
And he was a supporting role.
Yeah.
But because that's all anybody talked about with that movie, they made him more of the focus in the sequels.
Yep.
From what I understand.
And then he got his own. The fourth one.
Is the fourth one like?
Is a Jack Sparrow movie.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
No. No.
No, that makes sense from a marketing standpoint.
Yes.
From
You don't
from a
give
business standpoint.
you don't give Boba Fett his own movie. He's the cool guy because he doesn't have his own movie.
Yeah.
God damn it. You hear me? You don't give Boba Fett his own movie unless it's a Dread knockoff.
What?
We were talking about Boba Fett standalone movie, and I said they should make a Boba Fett movie like Dread.
Oh, okay.
Where
It's
he's
like
just
this weird, dark, gritty thing.
Dark gritty. I mean, that's Boba Fett's a bounty hunter, right?
Yeah,
And
that's
he's
true.
Gotta fucking fight his way through everybody. Boba Fett does the raid. Done. He's got a jetpack. He can make it to the top of that building.
Oh my god, someone's still talking about Fago.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, they do that. They do that. Yeah, Boba Fett is a nothing character. He's a
Yeah.
Basically, he's a cool visual.
Yes.
Yeah.
A very
He
cool
has no
visual.
character in those movies.
It was
I
never meant
never-
to be a fully fleshed out.
I never understood why people were like, "Oh, Boba Fett! Boba Fett's great!" Like,
because he looks neat.
because he looks cool.
He has a jetpack and a cool gun.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all they
Yes.
got. And
He's
it's,
cool because he has 2 lines in the movie.
yeah. You know why that's cool is because we can kind of insert our own stories there, right? We just see that visual like, oh, he's badass. I bet he does all these badass things, and we get to fill in all the gaps, which is all the gap.
Yes.
Right? And they're gonna ruin it, unless
That was already done in the prequels. He's Clone Boy now.
no, we can forget those. Those don't exist.
Okay.
That's not canon. In my head, the prequels are not canon.
Does Disney feel the same way?
Fuck Disney. I don't give a
Okay.
fuck.
I don't think it's with the prequels. It's not gonna be. They've already said like the extended universe isn't canon. I think they're just not going to make any mention of the prequels.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
absolutely.
I can't blame them.
And
I think
make,
that's a smart thing to do.
yeah, they can make new movies that just ignore those without doing anything that really contradicts
Yes.
them.
Right.
So they're just gonna go that route.
Absolutely. It will unofficially be removed from canon. And that's how it
It
will
already
be.
has been in the hearts of a lot of Star Wars.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
They never were in my part.
When I talk to my children about Star Wars, I talk to them about the 3 Star Wars movies.
Sure.
I will not tell them there are more. Because in my head there are not. And one day they'll get old enough and be like, "What are these other movies that say Star Wars on them?" And I'll say, "Oh, those are fan fiction."
Those are the fake ones.
They read that way, don't they?
Yes. They read like terrible fan fiction.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you're right. Boba Fett was absolutely ruined by the prequels, canon or not. Yeah. Oh yeah. All the coolness of Boba Fett was taken away. But all the coolness of everything was taken away by them. So it's
Yes.
kind of like a nuclear bomb. Just to start over. Hope someone gets superpowers.
Destroy him. Victory. Silver medal. Reward.
I'm about done here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one more round.
Okay.
I'm done.
Great. Great. I've been kind of coasting on fumes for a while.
Yeah. I was waiting for
What
you
time
guys
is
to
it?
end it.
Oh, fuck. No,
I'm just sitting here.
we're jabbering, man. It's been a while since we've had a long jabber episode. We've actually been playing games on our gaming live stream, which is so weird. Getting the balance back.
Bow and arrow is supposed to be a power, but every time I pick one up, it just throws me off.
If you had to say one good thing about the prequels,
Can't. There's no good thing about the prequels. Pound for pound,
There's
worst
gotta be.
movies ever made. No,
There's gotta be something.
there's nothing I can think of about those movies. Honestly.
No aspect of it.
No.
You can't find any positive thing in any.
The images are in focus.
Natalie Portman looks good in episode 2.
She's average at best. in film star terms, she's average at best.
You don't like Natalie Portman?
She's average at best.
Now
You're
you're
crazy.
trying to find things
You're
to
crazy.
not.
I've always
say
said that
nice
about her.
Natalie Portman is an attractive and
She's
smart
no
lady.
Jennifer Connelly.
You and your Jennifer Connelly.
I'm trying to think of other things though. There isn't much. There's a fair number of practical things in Phantom Menace. Practical effects. Like the pod race, scene?
Yeah.
The stadium is all, like, that was a miniature. Like, the stadium was a miniature.
You know what else used practical effects? Aliens from the Deep.
That's true. But I'm thinking of a positive. Like, you look at episode 2 and 3, and they look like phony garbage. But episode 1 has a fair amount of practical elements. So that's a compliment. Christopher Lee is in them. Can that count as a compliment?
Nah.
Is that a positive? Just because Christopher Lee's great? I'm trying here.
Would it matter if Christopher Lee weren't in them? Would it make any difference to that character if they got somebody else to do it?
When Christopher Lee, like, any movie with Christopher Lee in it is automatically better than any movie that doesn't have Christopher Lee in it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with that.
Going full nerd. The thing I've always said about Lucas and the prequels and all that is the prequels helped usher in a new wave of digital technology in filmmaking.
Yeah, I mean, there's technical things that Lucas
Which
has
Led
done.
to the revolution that was high frame rate.
No,
No, that's unrelated.
which led to a revolution in things like digital editing, digital cameras,
Yeah.
special effects, affordable special effects, a lot of things that we use every single day.
And probably take for granted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lucas has always been on the forefront, mostly because he wants to make his green screen movies cheaper and faster.
Yes.
He has been on the forefront of pushing that technology forward.
Yeah.
He did a lot in the early days with like early versions of Final Cut. He like creating the first digital editor. So the good to come out of the Star Wars prequels is the furthering of digital technology in filmmaking, which Jay and I use every single day.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
That's good for you.
yeah, it is.
That's a positive.
Without some of which I would not have as many jobs as I have. So, no, I can appreciate some of the technical aspects that he brought forth.
All right.
So,
All right.
make your shitty movies, Lucas. If you make digital cameras cheaper, you make your shitty movies. Be more funny? I can't. I'm sorry.
We're talking about Star Wars. There's no way to be funny anymore. It's just soul crushing.
Oh, that's right. And that what about the Duel of Fates song? That's a good song.
I don't like it. I don't like the singing.
Really?
And a Star Wars theme that just struck me as weird.
Oh.
No, I'm okay with it. I like it. I like the design of Darth Maul. He's not a character.
No, I didn't even like the design of Darth Maul. He looks stupid with that red horn head.
Oh, Rich, you just want to hate everything when it comes to the prequels, which I understand.
I genuinely hated everything in that movie.
Okay. Okay.
And listen, people.
I'm just trying to find, like, I
Yeah.
hate those movies too. I'm just trying to find positives.
For people who are saying that people are poo-pooing my good thing to happen with the prequels.
Oh, really?
One, yeah, sure, they would have happened anyway, but they happened because George Lucas wanted them to happen. They talk about it actually extensively if you have the collector's edition of the original trilogy on DVD. On the 4th DVD, there is a gigantic documentary about Lucas from college to present time. It's a great documentary, and a lot of the middle chunk has to do with him just pushing digital editing technology forward.
Okay.
It's a great watch. Lucas had personal involvement in it. So, sure, it might have happened without him, but he pushed it, people. Come on. And that Duel of Fate song is pretty cool. So, fuck all y'all. Fourth DVD? Yeah, there's a fourth.
There's so many different versions of this movie. They might not know which one you're talking about.
I'm talking. It's like it like has a Vader mask on it. It's like a DVD box set with a Vader mask on it.
I don't know.
It's the special editions. It is.
Of course, it's the special
Of course,
editions.
it's the special editions.
Midnight, we're talking about Star Wars. I'm going home.
Could you just? I would just like one more. We can talk about like the special